What's happening, guys? James Blonde here with MMOs.com. Finally getting a chance to hop back into Dungeon Fighter Online. I've been playing for a little while now that it's been reopened, and I'd say revived. I mean, look at all the players on just this one server. It's been revived by Neople, which is the original developer for DFO. Previously, it was published by Nexon, and it was shut down back in 2013, but Neople decided to self-publish the game and reopen it once again, this time globally, with some new features on top of that. Now, the game is in its second stage of open beta, worldwide, like I mentioned, and I've got my Dark Knight up to level 20 here, somewhere, lost in all the players. The Dark Knight is one of the new classes introduced to the game during the first open beta, along with the creator, and now for the second open beta, they've added in the female knight. The Dark Knight is fun combo-wise, as you'll see as we go along here, but the creator is also a very interesting class. Instead of using combos or regular attacks like pretty much any of the other classes, you use the mouse to click an attack. You've got an entirely different set of controls. Instead of X, A, S, D, F, G, and H being all your skills and moving with the arrow keys like any other class, with the creator you move with the W, A, S, and D keys, and like I said, you click to win with the mouse. You've got various abilities that you can toggle on and off, and they're set up on Q, E, R, T, and Y, so that way you can navigate around with, like I said, W, A, S, and D. Definitely an easy way to play the game, but at the same time, it's kind of cool that they have this class to use for anyone wanting to easily level up to in-game content. I think this particular class, for a lot of veteran DFO players, is probably going to take a lot of the fun out of the combat without all the combos, but that's just my guess. Either way, the click to kill is kind of satisfying in its own way, but for now I'll hop into a dungeon I haven't been through with my Dark Knight in order to show you guys the game as it is now and talk a little bit about what's changed. So I've got quests I can do on either one of these. I think I'm going to go with this one, a little bit higher level dungeon. I like how it shows you the obtainable unique items in this area now, which is really handy, especially for the higher level stuff. You're always trying to get your gear up in this game, as with any, but speaking of which, I'm actually using a pretty OP sword here, so I'm going to kill stuff pretty quickly. So I guess I'm supposed to free these guys, not kill them. Lucky them. Pick up all their goodies they drop. And that's one thing that's changed for the better, in my opinion, is that you don't have to press X anymore just to pick up gold. You still have to with materials and items like you just saw, but for gold and buffs, you can just kind of walk over them to pick them up, so you don't have to worry about hitting X so many times over and over again. Like this right here, I can just walk over it and pick it up. Alright, I gotta take out this mound, this anthill, if you will. These guys are like warrior ants. They actually look pretty cool, and if you notice that these are not the normal mobs that you would see at this level. The mobs have actually changed because the storyline in the game has actually changed a little bit. All this chaos is happening, so the world is completely different, which is a really cool way to spruce things up. You're not fighting the same creatures as you used to. And I can't say I really like the way I have this guy set up with the combos. I've got all the way, skills all the way to G, which, speaking of G, this is a really cool combo here. He died too fast. But they kind of get stuck in a vortex and start taking damage, and the combos are real at that point. It's pretty fun. I can only imagine getting past like level 55, all the way to level 65 with this guy, and seeing the combos at that point, because it's pretty ridiculous. Right now I like to start with S and kind of work my way through F, which is probably my favorite ability right now, which is the one you just saw. I'll try to do it again here, because I like everybody in a line, because at the end it has this uprising attack right there that keeps people back and also continues the combo. With that, with the cooldown times, it pretty much allows you just to recover and do the cycle all over again. And I use G, but not necessarily all the time. I think it's got a longer cooldown, and it doesn't seem to combo in as well as the other abilities like S, D, and F, and even A. Plus, for some reason, it doesn't always do the cyclone effect. Oh, that time it did. I guess it's okay if I use it right after my F ability, though. I just can't complete my F combo chain. But again, that's another thing. My sword is pretty OP. It's actually part of the Dragon Weapon event that's going on in the game right now, which is available for your first logged on character. It's actually a unique weapon that they call a growing weapon that levels up with you as you level up in the game, all the way up to level 67. So it scales with you as you go along, but it's pretty strong from the get-go, as you can tell. And what else is cool is, as you might have noticed, I've been picking up these dragon teardrops. If you fill a bottle with these, which takes 100 of them to fill, it converts the weapon from temporary to permanent. By temporary, I mean that the event lasts until May 26th. So you do have a lot of time in order to collect them. But with the sword, I'm going to easily take out this boss, just like pretty much everything else in this dungeon. This is actually a very easy dungeon, but don't worry, the game gets progressively harder as you go along. And of course, it would have been a lot harder on a higher difficulty. Alright, got triple S. Kind of expected that. And also without the dragon weapon. The nice thing is that the dragon weapon is not a cash item, so you don't get it in the cash shop or anything like that. Anyone can grab one and use them on their characters, and they work for each class, so it doesn't actually matter what class you want to play as. You can get a dragon weapon for all of them, and the weapon might not be as good as some of the unique gear that you can find as you go along. Its biggest feature, though, is that it scales with you, like I mentioned, and it adds 6 phases of additional properties to itself as you level it up. Pretty cool. Plus, it's actually only one of several events going on in the game right now, along with a level up challenge and the Affinity Ascension and Despair event. So I'm really glad to see these things happening in the game already. It's keeping the game fresh now that Neople has decided to not only reopen the game globally, but also revamp, refresh it, especially along with the new classes to play as. I mean, the Dark Knight has been really fun to play. So instead of heading back to the town, I think I'm going to go into another dungeon. That one didn't take very long. Maybe we can ramp up the difficulty a little bit. I did level up in that dungeon. Didn't find any gear that was worthwhile. And even though I still haven't quite finished the quest completely in the last dungeon, we have access now to this slightly higher level one with quests available. With the same one, Magic Armor featured quest, which is kind of what I'm going for. Hopefully we can get into some of the unique black moss shell armor. I'm not exactly sure what it is that we'll need to do in order to get that. I'm sure it's all up to chance, but, well, I guess we're not going to get it unless we try, so. Cool, we've got some new enemies to deal with. Got this nasty looking slug thing. Kill him fast. I've got to admit, I'm at the point in the game where I'm going to have to start reading the quest a little bit better to figure out exactly what I need to do that. Usually you just go through the dungeons and it's kind of automatic what you need to be doing, but not as of recently. I've actually had to go back and redo a couple of dungeons just because I didn't pay attention to what I was supposed to do. That is my bad. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Sometimes it's fun to do those little jump attacks too. Looks cool. Man. Alright. Hopefully my combos work out nicely. Focus a little bit more. Oh, cool. We got a little unique guy here. Madness Ant. Maybe we can get some armor for him. That's how you use that Vortex combo. Gotta get out of the purple stuff. Oh, yeah, and that's another really cool feature added to the game. The support characters. I guess I don't have to save these guys anymore. Now they're enemies. Okay. Pretty cool looking enemies, by the way. The support character. So once you make a character that's level 50 plus, it becomes a support character for any and all of your other characters that you make in the game. Not sure if I want to go down or let's go back up here. I think I should probably go down and grab a little bit more of this dungeon, seeing that last time I didn't complete the quest. I kind of want to do that this time. But yeah, the support characters, once you create a level 50 plus character, it becomes your support character for any and all of your characters you make in the game, and a little button pops up just above your mana on the bottom right, and then you can summon your level 50 character as any other character to come in and do an ability. So say if you're, you know, in a tough spot, like you're fighting a scorpion that's actually, I guess, beating you, and you're a level 21 like me, but you don't have your awakening skill yet or something, you can then summon your level 50 plus character to come in and basically wreck shop. I mean, it's going to kill like the entire screen. But you can't actually do that unless, you can't do that often unless you obtain enough clear cube fragments, which you get by dismantling items and finding them in pots. But it takes quite a bit, so it sort of limits the use of that feature. Either way, it's really awesome. Like I said, you can use them on any of your classes, and now you automatically get 25 character slots. You know, some games are limited on that, but definitely not in DFO for sure. And if that isn't enough, you can also, you know, buy more. Although if you have too much more than 25, you're probably borderline insane. Just saying, you might want to step back from the PC a little more. Unless you have, you know, mild insomnia, then more power to you. But with that said, the game, of course, still has its fatigue system. As you can tell, I'm actually getting really close to my limit there. The fatigue system in the game is often controversial in any game. People either love it or hate it. but on the bright side, it helps limit gold spammers, which are already in the game, again, sadly. And on the other hand, it keeps you from doing too much in one sitting, like putting a governor on your grinding abilities. But one thing I can say is that Neople is listening to their community. They're updating stuff on their Facebook page on a daily basis, constantly, and they've already done things to better the fatigue system without actually removing it. You can still buy fatigue potions that will help you out, and they have what they call growing fatigue, which gives you double XP based on the amount of leftover fatigue from the previous day. So that can kind of encourage you to go along with the system, and it's not quite as punishing on you, I guess, in a sense. It's used at the same time as your regular fatigue. It just gives you double EXP at the same time. I can imagine them having even more systems in place that will help out fatigue in the future, just because it is one of those touchy subjects in this game. Alright, so I was going to explore a little bit more of this dungeon, but I think I'm going to go ahead and get to the boss, because I want to show you some stuff in town, namely the changes to the skill system. And yeah, you can actually reallocate points now for free. You used to have to pay for that, and now you can respec anytime you like, in town, not obviously in the dungeons, but in town you can change up your abilities, as well as restructure your combos, which is really cool. I've kind of messed around with that a little bit. I'll be able to show you guys once we get back into town. Another thing you can do that doesn't cost any resources anymore is upgrade your weapon. Now it just costs, basically, as you get higher level, you can just upgrade your weapon with buku's amount of gold. So there's a little bit more purpose to gold, a little bit more purpose to gold spammers, unfortunately. But, you know, I think it got rid of a system that people were annoyed with in the past. Yep, I kind of figured it was going to be a giant scorpion. Alright, let's see if we can get this guy. Oh, crap. Shoot. Purple poison. No, I'm poisoned. It hurts. Oh, I gotta get out of here. Oh, good. He's done. He doesn't have much life. He's just hiding behind his minions. There we go. Of course. Come on, really? Just, no. Die. Stop breaking my combos. Now I can't die. I was doing combos the entire time, and I couldn't do any combos on this guy. That's alright. Still got triple S. Quite a lot of XP from that dungeon there. Almost 2.25 bar of XP. Let's see how good I can do on this. I never getting. Oh, I got something that time. Not exactly sure what it does, which I'll have to check. All right, so let's repair. Let's see. I didn't get any gear, of course. Oh yeah, that's right. I did. I thought I got something new. I got a new title for doing 500 back attacks. That's crazy. There's a lot of titles in the game, and you get, of course, emotes along with those titles, and you notice that everybody does that. Some of the higher level ones, obviously the special ones, are not doing anything just yet, but later on you can get some stats to certain titles. Let's see here. Alright, let's go back into town, and I'll show you the skill system as well as a little bit of the cash shop as well. So I unlocked the new dungeon that we just played through on medium. Gosh, there's a lot of players in the game. Speaking of, seeing that the game is so popular right now, it is peer-to-peer, so definitely expect a little bit of delay, especially if you party up, and yeah, it's kind of natural to do that. Let's see, let's turn in this quest here. Now, you can usually walk around and turn in quests, but the new quest system is really cool. A lot of, you know, quality of life, so you can actually just hit complete here and do all of your questing that way. You don't have to go to the NPCs anymore to pick up quests, nor turn them in. You can organize them really, really easy by, you know, sorting them this way. You can see the numbers of quests available, and you can see which ones are available and which ones are completed, and just click on them and go through them that way. I think that's super easy instead of having to walk across the map so many times just to pick up quests. It saves time, which also goes along with your fatigue system, so you're not just running it down on empty the entire time. You can sit here and pick up all the quests this way and get stuff done. I think that is, I'm glad they added that, honestly. Plus you can organize them, you know, via dungeon and things that you have completed or not completed, so it makes it a little easier to see what you've got going on. I'm just gonna check through here, make sure everything is good, collected and stuff. And yeah, we're good to go. Cool. And you'll still notice that you have the NPCs that you can go to and pick up quests just like you used to be able to. So you can select them and see what quests are attributed to them specifically. Let's go ahead and take a look at the skill system here. It's letting me know that I have skill points to spend. I'll go ahead and do that. First thing you'll notice that it drops down this bar here that kind of shows you how the new system works, which is handy. You can shift click to either max out or clear them, control click to learn the prerequisite skills, and you can level up these skills individually according to what you want to use. I'm going in there and just trying to explore each skills. The Dark Knight is set up to basically contain a lot of other abilities from the other sword-wielding classes. They're just a little less specialized, and in my opinion, they're sort of a best of. Once you figure out what you want to do, you can apply the skills, of course, and then you can register the hotkey here, which is how you set up your combos. This is pretty much how it comes automatically, but you can pretty much rearrange these how you want in order to customize your combos, which is a really awesome feature. Like, you can move that uprising ability and have it chain at the end of a completely different combo, one dungeon after the next if you want, because it doesn't cost you anything to move these around, and so you can actually put it how you like. And I can say that it does make a difference how you set it up, just because of the fact that some combos work a little bit better. I did have the uprising ability on top of my vortex ability. It didn't quite work out too well. Okay, so let's take a look at the cash shop, which isn't quite implemented just yet, but we do have some items here. They do have like the Avatar of April box, which you can look through each one of these, and it kind of changes the way your character looks. This is my favorite. I've already looked at these, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and buy this. Sweet. Which is cool because I can actually buy this with in-game currency. Later on, you're probably gonna be able to buy these with just cash currency, or maybe both. I'm not exactly sure. Originally, you could also buy gear that had some stats on them, but they were very small stats that didn't really alter the gameplay. They were essentially fair. I have a feeling Neople is going to look at these things really meticulously and make sure that their community comes first. There does seem to be some limitations on this, like it can only be purchased once per account, and it seems like it does expire on 5/12/2015. So I guess I'm only buying it for a certain period of time, but at least I get to use in-game cash to do that, and it's actually not too bad of an amount. And someone else was also telling me about the mileage system in the game, which can be used to pick up some of these cash shop items. After each dungeon, you gain a mileage point, and you can spend them on items, kind of like a currency. So you can use that as sort of a reward system as well. But anyway, guys, this video is long enough. I'm really excited that the game is back under its original developer, who seems to be taking it in the right direction right off the bat. Hopefully this gave you a simple overview of what's new and changed in the game so far. It's still an open beta, and it seems like they have even more planned, and like I said, the nice thing is that they keep the community updated constantly on their Facebook page. So keep up with the game by following them. Get more general information as well as a newly updated written review of the game at the game profile at the brand new MMOHuts.com. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, that's going to be it for me. I'm James Blonde. See you out there, gamers.